Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today I'm finally going to do a new installment of my twins series. I don't even remember what number it is, but I know it's a series that you guys enjoy, and so I have a new episode for you. Now, I'll be honest, these ones are getting harder and harder to film, or harder and harder to come up with some twins to talk about, because my collection is not changing all that much these days, and I've talked about so many fragrances already. But I have a few new comparisons to talk to you about today. And let's start with 3 vanilla fragrances. Now, what sparked this comparison was the fragrance that I just added to my collection. That is Vanilla Plantifolia from Chloe. Now, when I talked about this one originally, I described it as a green vanilla, and I thought it would make sense to compare it to a couple of other green vanillas in my collection. Now, I want to compare it to 2 other green vanillas. One, Angelique Noire from Guerlain, because I do consider it a green vanilla, and also Ani from Nishane, because there is a very strong kind of green, bright element, especially in the opening of this fragrance. So I think, there might be questions about how similar or how different these are. So since I'm holding this one, let's start with this one. You all know, very bright, green, spicy in the opening, ginger, citruses, and then beautiful vanilla comes in, creamy, sweet, dense, thick type of vanilla, very sweet, beautiful. This one, on the other hand, is much lighter, airier. It's not quite as dense. It's not quite as thick. It is definitely not as sweet as the other vanilla. It has a really interesting floral element to it, which Ani doesn't have. So even though both are kind of on the green vanilla side, they are quite different. Which brings us to Angelique Noire from Guerlain. Now I would say this is your quintessential green vanilla. It is so beautiful. Like Angelica in here is just amazing, but vanilla is also very creamy. It is sweet. It is not as dense as Ani, and it's not as airy as Vanilla Plantifolia. This one falls right in the middle for me. It is a little bit woody. Oh, it's just beautiful. Now, I think all 3 of these are beautiful, and all 3 can be classified as green vanillas. So which one would I recommend? Well, in this case, I think it is impossible to choose one, because they're all quite different. And what you choose depends on what it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for something airier, more floral, less sweet, you go for Vanilla Plantifolia. If you're looking for something a little bit more punchy and beastly and thicker and sweeter, you go for Ani. If you're looking for something very elegant and very subdued and very classy, where you have a great balance of greenness and sweetness, then you go for Angelique Noire. So I think you can't go wrong with any of these 3. And again, what you choose will depend on what it is that you're looking for. Next, let's compare 2 Tuberose fragrances. And can you believe it? I'm comparing Tuberose fragrances. Like, who am I? First one is Quatro Pizzi from Xerjoff. And the second one is, again, a newer addition to my collection, and that is Scandal Absolu from Jean-Paul Gaultier. Now, I got this one first. Let's talk about this one first. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous combination of tuberose and coconut for me. Tuberose is just so like creamy and soft and floral. Definitely, I recognize the tuberose, but in addition with coconut, it's just beautiful, beautiful scent. I've enjoyed this one so much. Like, I got it, I don't know, late spring, perhaps, or no, sometime in the summer, and I've already used up so much. So yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous scent. This one I've had for just a little while, but I've used this one as well, and I love it. This also has tuberose. Now this one has fig, but the type of fig that's in here is also coconutty. So that's why I think these are quite similar. Now, what's different about them is that this one, Scandal, also has a very, very strong sweet element. I can't say that Quatro Pizzi doesn't have any sweetness, but when you compare them side to side, this one is much, much, much sweeter, much sweeter. So, you know, they both have that tuberose coconut element to them, but then the sweetness level is what sets them apart. Now, which one would I recommend? This is tough as well, but I will make a choice here. I can't not choose Xerjoff, you know, even though I love the sweetness of the Scandal, but you know, I'm making this choice maybe mostly in part to the pricing, because designer fragrances are so expensive these days, even on discounter sites. And like, I have 30 ml, Scandal is 50. Okay, there is a little bit more in here, I'll give you that, but the price of this one is below 100 Canadian dollars, whereas the price of this is way above $100. So like, when I look at the prices, you can't beat the quality of Xerjoff, so I would go with this one. In my second haul of the year, the one that came out in the summer, I shared with you Guilty Crush from the House of Oud. And even when I talked about this fragrance then, I compared it to another fragrance that I already have in my collection. And that is Pink Me Up from Atelier Dora. I think this is a must comparison, because they have a lot of similar notes, and I definitely thought before I tried both of these that the way that they smell will be quite similar. Now, Pink Me Up, this is I've had it for over a year. You can see that we've used up quite a bit. I say we because my daughter loves this scent as well and uses it quite often. This is very bubbly, sparkly, sweet, girly, raspberry with some champagne and a little bit of kind of creaminess and powderiness that comes from a lipstick note. Oh, it's just so good, so easygoing, just beautiful, makes you happy, makes me happy when I wear it. Now this one, I can't remember if it has raspberry, maybe it has some other berries, but it definitely has that red berry kind of smell. What it also has, and what's really at the forefront of this fragrance, is a very heavy lipstick note. That's what I get more than anything else. So this makes this scent heavier, whereas Pink Me Up is lighter. It is also, Pink Me Up is also brighter, whereas this one really doesn't have that brightness. Like it's denser, it's heavier, it's more lipsticky than it is fruity. So even though there are a lot of similar notes, there are a lot of different elements in these two fragrances, so they are different. Now, which one would I choose? Well, based on my taste and my preferences, even though I like both, but I would go with Pink Me Up. I just love the brightness and happiness of this fragrance and airiness of this fragrance. And you know, lipstick note is slightly challenging for me, so I definitely prefer that it is a little bit more subdued in this one. So I would go with Pink Me Up. Now, next, let's compare two coffee scents. You know, I love coffee scents. And here I have a long-time love coffee addict from Theodoros Kalolotinis and the newer addition, Amore Café from Mancera. Now, this is an amazing, overly sweet, very potent, very strong coffee drink. It's like you're in Starbucks and you've ordered something really delicious, really good. Like you get strong coffee and you get a ton of sweetness and you get some cream in here and maybe whipped cream, and Oh, it's just so, so good. Now, Amore Café also has a coffee note in it. And obviously, you know, the name suggests that this is about coffee. And although I do get a coffee note in here, to me, this one is quite different. This really gives me coffee ice cream. So it's not a drink. It's not coffee that you drink. It's coffee ice cream. That's what I get from it. So for me, these two fragrances are quite different, which is also why I thought there was a place for this one in my collection, because even though I have a number of fragrances that smell like coffee, I definitely don't have anything that smells like coffee ice cream. So this choice is also difficult, and I'm kind of going to cheat here as well, because I think that these are quite different, and what you choose again depends on your preference, on what it is that you're looking for. If you want something that smells like Starbucks, if you want a delicious potent coffee drink, you go for Coffee Addict. But if you're looking for more ice creamy type of scent, the one that smells like coffee ice cream, then you go for Amore Café. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. All right, let's go to the next comparison. And I really hope that I haven't done this one before. I don't think I did, but you know, I've done so many twins now that perhaps, but I really don't think I did this comparison before. Now, here I have Mon Exlusif from Guerlain and Goddess from Burberry. So both of these are lavender and vanilla fragrances. Now, Mon Exlusif, I mentioned it before, this really smells like Mon Guerlain. So if you don't have this version, think of it as Mon Guerlain. So this is lavender and vanilla, like I said, and I think it has a beautiful balance of lavender and vanilla. This scent is very smooth, buttery, dense, extremely feminine. You know, for me, as someone who struggles with lavender, most of the time lavender is soapy to me, but together with this amazing vanilla and this kind of buttery feel, it's so, so good. And I love how like dense and thick this scent is. Now, Burberry Goddess, well, that's also lavender and vanilla, but this one feels much, much fresher, much airier, much lighter. Like, in a way, you can think of this one as perhaps something that you wear in warmer weather, and maybe this one you wear in colder weather because it is stronger, it is denser. I really, really enjoy both of these. I really, really do. Surprisingly, like I said, because I'm someone who struggles with lavender, I really like both of these. Now, which one would I recommend? I think at the end of the day, I'm going with the classic, which is Mon Exlusif or Mon Guerlain. For me, as someone who prefers stronger fragrances, I love that this one is stronger, denser, more sweet, more potent. I love the buttery feel that it has. And although I enjoy both and I wear both, if I had to choose one, I think I would go with this one. You know, when this one came out, I think this was a pretty unique scent profile, like sweet lavender, lavender with vanilla. Now, obviously, no, we have a number of other fragrances with the scent profile. But for me, I still think that this is the best. Out of all of these that came out recently, I think this is the best. So yeah, that's my choice. And let's end it with the last comparison, which again, I hope that I didn't do previously. Man, I should really check out my videos. That is Tobacolour from Dior and Moonlight from Pana, Dora. I've talked about similarities in these fragrances previously, so I won't spend too much time on this. Now, Tobacolour is an absolute beast. This fragrance is a complete commitment. You spray it in the morning, just a couple of sprays. It lasts you the entire day, if not into the night and next morning. It's so, so strong. This is all about honey, especially on my skin. When I spray it, it's honey, 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 honey. It's very strong, very sweet. Yes, tobacco is there as well. Maybe some other woodiness, a little bit of smokiness, but really it's honey and tobacco, with honey being absolute number one. Very, very, very beastly. Now, Moonlight. I don't remember the exact notes in this one, so I will tell you what it smells like to me. So this, okay, in comparison to Tobacolour, this is subdued and not quite as strong, but it is also a very strong fragrance, especially like in a sillage and in a projection. It's quite strong, but perhaps in a slightly subdued way. Like it's not as overpowering as Tobacolour, because I think for some, Tobacolour could be a bit overpowering. This one also has honey, at least that's what I get in it, but it's definitely not as strong, not as sweet. I also get some like fruity elements, perhaps more on like dried fruit side, maybe some plum, I don't know, something like that. And I even get a slightly boozy vibe as well. Again, not sure if there are actually any boozy notes, but that's what I get from this fragrance. I absolutely love both of these. Both have to be used sparingly because they're very, very strong. Now, at the end of the day, if I had to choose one, I would go with, which one? I think at the end of the day, I would go with this one. For several reasons. One, because it is not quite as overpowering as Tobacolour. I mean, there are days when Tobacolour is too much, even for me, even though I love it. I find this one less overpowering. I also love that there are a few more nuances in this one compared to Tobacolour. Like I love that fruitiness and slight boozy vibe, you know, in addition to honey and tobacco, because in Tobacolour, pretty much all I get is honey and tobacco, whereas here I get a little bit more. So yeah, if I had to choose between the two, I'm going with Moonlight. So that's it for today. These are the twins that I wanted to talk to you about. Please let me know, what did you think about my comparisons? Do you agree or disagree? Also, if you have suggestions for any other fragrances that you would like me to compare, please let me know. I will try to come up with another installment of the twins series. For now, thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe, and to comment, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.